Hey there, it's Henry and Jeff here from Volant and the Badminton Podcast. Okay, so you're here because A, you're about to choose your first racket. B, you're about to choose your next racket. Or C, you don't want to choose the wrong racket.
Now, just for a bit of background, if you don't know the difference between head light, head heavy, and even balanced rackets, make sure you watch this video first.
But just as a recap of the general differences, a head light racket is often better for speed and easy to maneuver, but doesn't generate as much power. A head heavy racket is usually better for power, but is a bit slower and harder to maneuver. And an even balanced racket is somewhere in between.
So let's get started. There are two considerations you need to follow when selecting a racket.
Let's start with skill level. What skill level would you put yourself into? Making sure you're being honest.
If you're already of an intermediate level or higher, you can check out this different video here or check the description below instead. But you can also watch this if you're interested too.
If you're a newbie, keep watching. While there are a number of additional factors to take into consideration when buying a racket, let's keep it simple for you.
For beginners or newbies, we would generally recommend a 4U G5 head light or even balanced racket that has a flexible shaft. Let's break this down a little bit.
Unless you're this guy, we would avoid head heavy rackets because as beginners or newbies, it's likely that your swinging technique isn't perfect. Using incorrect technique often means that you'll be more prone to injury, especially if you're carrying that extra weight in a head heavy racket.
But compared to this, a head light racket or an even balanced racket is much easier to maneuver. As you begin to improve your skills and develop your game and understanding of what your strengths and weaknesses are.
Now, 4U is the weight of the racket, so that's roughly 82 grams, give or take, and is the most commonly used badminton racket weight for everyday players.
But for comparison, most professional badminton players out there tend to use a 3U weight, which is approximately 87 grams.
Now, G5 means the grip size. This is fairly standard and is relatively small, allowing you to layer on if you have a preference for bigger grip sizes later. To be honest, we always use G5 grips because it's just easier that way for us.
And finally, a flexible shaft helps to compensate for most beginners who can't generally generate as much swing power.
Rackets that are too stiff can also be quite unforgiving, meaning that they're harder to use if you aren't able to strike the shuttle in the center of the racket head each time.
Now, everything that we've said are just general recommendations so that you know what to look for when you're buying your next racket.
So, are you ready to get the right racket for you?
Well, we have a few choices for you. Here is the Ignite X1, the ultimate beginner's racket. It's a headlight 4U racket that definitely isn't going to break the budget. It comes already strung and in a racket bag that you can hang on your shoulder. But if you want something that you can use all the way up until you're an advanced player, you got it. If a headlight racket is where you're going, check out this 4U or 82 gram Flight S1 racket.
Now, if an even balanced is more your style, go for the 4U or 82 gram Rogue S1 racket. Now, both of these come with customizable stringing, a racket bag, and free shipping. All of the links will be waiting for you in the description.
We hope you've enjoyed this video. If you did, you know what to do. Hit that like, subscribe, and bell icon too. Oh, and show this video to all of your badminton mates so that they can get the right racket for them too.
We'll see you on court.
Bye.
Bye.